Hello. Welcome to the podcast. This is Untitled Anime Podcast, or UAP. I don't know.
UAP.
I hate UAP.
Yeah, I do too. We're never gonna. Don't call it UAP.
But I will call it. We'll call it Untitled Anime Podcast because that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Until
After
further
spending,
notice.
what do we do? Spend like 2 million hours on a title, and then we're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, we were gonna call it. We were gonna call it Weebs at 3, but then I decided that I hate that.
Well, it was fitting to be fair. It was like you wanted to be up at 3 a.m. and do this podcast, and they're like, well, we're weebs, so do weebs at 3.
And this is not 3 a.m.
No.
And...
But anyway, this is Untitled Anime Podcast, and I'm Tyler.
I'm Alan. Nice to meet you, people. But probably not, because I think most of the people watching are people that we already know.
Probably. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we got a bunch of new fans in our time away from the internet.
Maybe, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so this is something that's been like sort of in the works for a while. We've been like, I don't know.
But you watched it like 3 years ago. You're like, hey, you want to do a podcast? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then 2 years ago, like, want to do a podcast? I'm like,
yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
I fell in love with podcasts sometime like 3 years ago or something. Sorry, I keep looking back and forth because I have two monitors that are showing exactly the same thing.
Well, I'm looking at me and you. I kind of wish I could put you over here because you're in my line of vision. But no,
I'm gonna do my best to look only here. Let's go.
I started getting into podcasts when I started working overnight and had a job that just let me listen to it. And I also, where I would drive 8 hours to see my girlfriend like every 3 weeks, I'd be like, okay, I can't listen to music for 8 hours straight. So I started putting on a bunch of podcasts. Really good.
Yeah, that shit saves your life.
And there's not enough anime podcasts that interest me, so we're just like, okay, we'll just make another one. And no one's taken this name.
Why would anyone take this name?
Hey, I don't know. Yeah.
We were like sort of kickstarted, like inspired by Trash Taste.
Oh, definitely.
Shoutouts to Trash Taste, the quintessential anime podcast.
The only podcast on the entire internet.
Kinda, yeah.
They're good.
It's good.
Obviously, we can't be in person because me and you live 10 hours apart and in separate countries, so our border doesn't even let me near you. So
yeah, we legally cannot do it.
It kind of sucks because in about 2 weeks, if COVID didn't happen, you were gonna be here.
Yeah, that was the plan.
In my house.
But the plan
has
failed.
Sit here and cry. I'm gonna rep my southernness and drink a yeehaw beer.
What the fuck?
It's called yeehaw.
It's actually.
Oh my god!
Did you spill it?
No, it just did it. It broke the thingy. The can didn't open.
Oh, no yeehaw for you. Kev, what do you do?
I don't know.
What do you do in that? Oh, well, sucks to suck. Drinks it anyway.
Well, I'm just gonna stab it with some scissors, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Just cut the sides with yeah, exactly.
No, I'm literally gonna poke a hole in this with unsanitary scissors. Okay, we got it.
This is gonna be the last episode.
Yeah, this is the final episode. We've been taken down. I'm 21 years old now. I made YouTube videos back when I was 10, so it's been 11 years. Oh my god.
Yeah, we've both been on YouTube for a while.
We both also quit for a while.
Hey, I never quit.
Okay.
I never quit.
At your channel. You quit.
I'm still here.
We both. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Coming up this December, me and you have known each other for 8 years. Oh.
Yeah. So we are very, very long time friends. It's been December 2012 to now.
We met playing Minecraft.
We did meet playing Minecraft.
Everybody's favorite game. I mean, it is everyone's favorite. It's a pretty good game.
We no longer play Minecraft, but we are still weebs. He is a weeb basically because of me. I guess we could talk about how we got into.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I actually predate you with the weebness, but then I take a hiatus. So if we were going to do the actual timeline here, oh gosh, I was like 4. And my cousin was watching Dragon Ball Z, and I watched it with him. And I was like, "Yo, this is so cool!" I remember what episode it was too. Is that weird? I can remember the first episode of anime I ever saw.
That just means it's so fucking like significant in your life.
Yeah, so I remember it was. I don't think anyone. Dragon Ball Z can't be spoiled. It was the episode where Super Buu fights Vegito. So
you'd be surprised. Some people would be like on your shit about that.
Well, no one knows who Vegito is if they're not that far in Dragon Ball Z. So, I saw that episode and I thought it was pretty cool. So I just watched what would come on. So I'd watch Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, because that came on. I didn't even know it was anime. I didn't know what anime was. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh up to like 2007, and now I still watch it. I know I'm terrible, but then in 29 2009 comes around, and
Year 29.
I remember I had a crappy Windows 98 computer, and I don't know, my family was like on my nerves all the time, and I didn't really like school. I think I was in the 6th grade or 5th, maybe younger, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball Z. But then apparently there was Dragon Ball, which I didn't know existed. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and then I watched Dragon Ball one summer and loved it. Didn't skip filler, didn't even really know what filler was, and did the same thing next summer for Naruto. I watched all of the original Naruto in dub in all the filler. So the last 80 episodes, I was kind of like, why isn't anything happening? Because it's all not relevant.
And you did sound like that.
Yes, I probably did. And then I remember starting Shippuden, and then I was like, this is too much. So I stopped. And then it kind of, then I hadn't watched the anime, and then it rolls around to 2013 when I met you and you started watching anime.
Yeah, baby. It took a while. It took a while for me to get you actually into it again. But I fucking did it.
I don't think you tried too hard. I think you were just, you kind of started watching anime, and in 2013, you wanted me to watch, like,
I think it was Attack on Titan. No, it was Fullmetal Alchemist, and then Attack on Titan.
Yeah, and I remember the message you texted me on Skype. Oh my god, I remember Skype
days.
You texted me on Skype, and you're like, I think I'm gonna get into anime. And I'm like, all right. That was that conversation.
Basically.
And then you watched the SAO.
I did. Wait, you're spoiling my story.
Oh, I thought I tried to segue into your story. You didn't want to tell it, so I started telling it for you.
It's a bombshell of a story.
Well, anyway, you got me to watch FMA, and I didn't like it because I watched one episode, and if I didn't get captured by one episode, I didn't like it.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to express my anger at like me being pissed off at you not liking FMA like immediately.
It actually took me 3 years to watch FMA.
But I totally was. I was like kind of cheesed.
Do you remember that? It took me 3 years to watch FMA. Even I don't know why. Like I watched so much shit.
But you watched so much other stuff. Like you watched fucking everything else.
You got me to watch Attack on Titan. I watched like half the first episode, and then that scene happens, and you're like, I'm like, oh my god. So then I binged the whole series in like 2 days, and then naturally, instead of watching something else, I watched it again like 4 times. And it actually took me a long time to really get into anime. And then I slowly got into like Gurren Lagann, Soul Eater, Fullmetal Alchemist, the very normie stuff.
Yeah, there's this list of anime that like pretty much every new person has to get through. They're like in every new person's like first 20 or 30.
Yeah.
It's the same list for everybody.
Very much. Very much so. And then I think at some point I finally was able to like, because I had this thing where I wasn't able to like transfer to shows very easy. I'd get so attached to the show, it'd be really hard for me to focus on another show. I don't really know why, but at some point I was able to just start watching more stuff back to back, and it made me, which I realized like I used to when I had cable, I'd watch an episode of a show and then it'd be a different show. So like, what was I doing? And
it made you the weeb you are today.
Yeah, so I started watching a lot of shows. I remember 2014 or 2015. Somewhere, one year, I remember I watched like 9 anime in a month, which was like, you were like, what the hell? It's like so many for you.
There were certain points where you like overtook me, and I was like genuinely shocked.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like, I liked Kill la Kill. I don't really remember watching any bad anime actually at the start. I don't think I would watch anything that I didn't like after a few episodes. I think the first show that I officially dropped was Akame ga Kill.
I was actually gonna bring that up. That's definitely like on the quintessential list of like starter shows.
I have a friend who watched it and he became so obsessed with it because he could relate to the characters. So he proceeded to watch it like 6 times. And I'm like, dude, you're 20. Shut the fuck up.
It's a little bit relating to the characters.
If you relate to the characters that murder people, I don't know what's your problem. I didn't like Akame ga. I thought Akame ga Kill was bad. I did go back and finish it, but it was awful.
I thought it was like passable at best.
Yeah.
I can't blame people. I liked it at first too.
I did too. Like the first few episodes blew me away, and then
when you first start watching, you like everything. Like it's so easy to like everything. I miss those days. Everything was a 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think everything was a 10 for me, but everything was better than the last for me. I didn't have a Mal at the point.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
time.
yeah. Those were like that was a while ago now, to be honest. Like that was like 2013, 2014 days. Like that's literally like 6, 7 years ago.
It
Think
was
about that
around the
shit.
time that I got into anime that I discovered Yu-Gi-Oh in Japanese. Now a lot of people make fun of me, but Yu-Gi-Oh is 10 times better in Japanese. They don't censor anything, and I have to this day I'm only 4 episodes behind on Yu-Gi-Oh through all 7 series.
Me too.
You have only watched you've only
Me
watched a
too.
bit of the original
I'm
and a bit
almost
of the
caught
new one.
up. I'm almost caught up. I watched
Shut
some
up.
GX. I watched like
Wow.
one episode of Zexel with you because you made me,
Yeah, and then you
and
watched one episode of 5Ds with me.
I wanted to rip my hair out.
Okay, Zexel 2, unironically, a 9 out of 10. But Zexel 1, like a 6.
That's all I can speak for because I did want to rip my hair out in that one episode.
Considering I made a bunch of friends playing Yu-Gi-Oh, which I don't like most of them now, I think that Yu-Gi-Oh was like I was the one person that watched Yu-Gi-Oh for the show, and then it made me want to play the card game. And like I wanted to use cards from the anime. I wasn't the type of person that was like, I want to see how these cards look in the anime, because obviously the Yu-Gi-Oh anime doesn't make any sense at all.
That's literally the whole point of the anime is to like
No, because they don't
promote.
print half the cards from the anime.
Well,
And they don't
like the idea of it is to promote like
And they don't
make you
play
buy
like
shit.
you're supposed to play. Like nobody runs 3 of any card. They disregard. They don't care if your card's banned.
Well, that's like Pokemon, right? Like no one's gonna play TCG
Pokemon.
because of the anime and then play
Despite-
it, try to play it the same way. It doesn't work.
Even as a kid, I fucking hated the Pokemon series. Yet I watched all of them.
Nobody knows how to play Pokemon.
I watched the Pokemon anime all the time as a kid, and it frustrated me. Ash wouldn't catch Pokemon, and I'd be like, this show sucks.
Dude, I fucking
remember
love Pokemon.
But this like new series is actually super good. I'll get into that another day.
It's kind of my favorite, or it's kind of my not my favorite. What the fuck? It's my one of my first shows. I guess okay. I can get into how I started.
No, go for it. I'm gonna
Technically,
drink Yeehaw.
as a kid, probably like early grade school kind of stuff, like third grade, fourth grade ish. It was just on TV. If you're Canadian, you know Channel 25 YTV. That shit was on. Naruto was
Or if-
on. Inuyasha was on.
That's like Toonami for America.
Yeah,
so.
basically. Yeah, and it would just like be on like after SpongeBob or whatever, right? And you just watch Pokemon, you watch Yu-Gi-Oh, you watch Inuyasha, but like you would just watch one episode at a time without any continuity. Like I would watch episodes of Inuyasha. I still don't know what Inuyasha really is about.
Well, I mean,
I
like,
would,
if you've ever read a fucking guide for Pokemon, and like if you wanted to watch Ash's journey, you can only watch about 100 episodes of the 1,000, and you get the same story.
but like Pokemon, you can pick that up at like any episode, and you know, like it's like, you know, it's a kids show. You can't do that with Inuyasha.
I don't even know. I've actually Inuyasha is something I want to watch just because I'm always like, oh, what the fuck is it?
Yeah, I think Bleach was on too. I think Naruto's definitely
I've seen
on.
like half an episode of Bleach, and
Yeah.
I've read some of it. Meh.
So like that was like when I gained familiarity with anime. I also like didn't know this was anime. I just knew this like looked different from the other shit.
Oh, you're doing better than me. I was just like, cartoons.
I think I was older than like 4, what you said.
That's true, but I mean, even at
Yeah.
10 years old,
like-
no, I guess I learned it around like 9.
Yeah, like all you know is there's a clear difference between the Fairly Odd Parents and then the shit that came right after the Fairly Odd Parents. There's
I
a
don't know. No
difference
Game No Life and Fairly Odd Parents kind of the same show.
in a way.
Excuse me, jeez. I'm sorry. I was an involuntary like death.
That's just it. I'm not editing that out. Just so you know.
You don't need to edit anything out. Editing out is for
I'm
pussies.
not. Yeah, that's right. Unless it like hurts my ears while I'm listening to it later, then I'll probably edit it slightly. I feel like I can smell that. Every time you do it, I smell something.
Man,
That's
I
my
love my
brain.
new chair that I bought, but if you can hear this sound, it's because the armrests don't lock into place and they move.
Dude, you just bought this.
No, it's just how it is. They're meant to adjust.
Okay.
It
I
moves
thought
to
it
different
was
angles.
broken already.
I'd send this bitch back.
Okay, and then
Sorry,
what
continues.
happened? Okay,
I'm
yeah,
an asshole.
yeah, you're an asshole. So after that, I just kind of stopped. Except for Pokemon, I watched the shit out of Pokemon. I watched that shit online, on like
Yeah.
Like watchpokemononline.com or whatever the fuck it
I
was.
remember Watch Pokemon Online.
Yeah, like
Oh,
whatever
God.
that was. Like I started following like starting like Diamond and Pearl. And I literally just watch every single episode. I'd follow like all of like Ash's whatever. I'd like make like
At least
fantasy
you
teams for myself, like
At least
all
you
that nerd
watched.
shit.
I did the same thing. Like I would imagine myself like, what would I do if I was in each region? And I would
Yeah,
always have a fucking Meganium with me. That was my Pokemon I took to every region.
yeah,
Diamond and Pearl was fire.
I totally had a Flygon every time. This
Did
was
you guys have the
pre
Pokemon
haircut.
Master Marathon back when Diamond and Pearl? Do you remember that? You weren't American, so you
I
remember
don't
that.
think so. No.
So when Diamond and Pearl first started airing here, sorry to interrupt you, they aired every single episode of Pokemon for a week straight to catch up to Diamond and Pearl on Cartoon Network.
I think we had something like that.
My child in me was like, because I never saw like Johto or whatever. So
I never got to see that. It was too young. That shit was
so cool.
That shit was fire. And I did this all the way until like Best Wishes, or I guess Black and White.
Isn't that where you started watching it in Japanese? Those Best Wishes.
Yeah, I started watching in Japanese. This is when I started like my the weeb in me kind of like was born there. Even if it hadn't manifested yet, it was like it existed at that point.
Well, it makes sense because in a way, Pokemon is 10 times better in Japanese, way more tolerable.
Yeah, a lot more tolerable.
Best Wishes still sucks dick though.
It does suck dick. It sucks major.
I
even knew while I was watching that it sucked dick. And
for some reason, it's like if they're the best games in the series, the anime sucks, and if it's the worst game in the series, the anime is amazing.
Is that a thing?
X and Y had the best anime, and X and Y were terrible games. So far, the Sword and Shield anime is fire.
That's true, actually. That's a good point. I never thought of it that way.
Ash's team is just fucking stacked in this new series. Actually, Sun and Moon was a good series too.
People rag on Sun and Moon too hard. Although I haven't really watched it. Oh, and I haven't. No, I like Sun and Moon the games too. People rag on that shit way too hard.
Yeah.
Like they're at least okay. They're fine. They're not X and Y.
I mean, no, they're definitely the second best Pokemon games. But that's a conversation for another day.
Oh my god, there's gonna. Oh no. But.
Sorry.
Anyway, so like that. Okay, that just basically like continued, and then it tapered off at some point until like early high school, when everyone started talking about this new show. All my friends started talking about fucking Sword Art Online. And they were making memes about it, and they were just like making references to it, and I was like, oh, I should get into this stuff. And I watched it, and I liked it.
I remember when you got me to watch it, and I watched 13 episodes, and I was like, the fuck is this? This series is fucking garbage.
I have since changed my mind, but at the time, I was like 14, and I thought it was fucking hype.
Oh my god, I really have known you since you were 14.
I thought it was I thought it was fucking hype. Okay, and
I mean, I will give you that. I mean, first 13 episodes were pretty hype as a kid, but like even as a kid, I was like, I don't want this show to keep going, so I just quit right there.
Yeah, and then afterwards came something called standards. After SAO, I think my second one was Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, I actually remember your order was Full Metal Alchemist and then Brotherhood.
Yeah,
I don't know what you did after that.
I watched them back to back. I think Attack on Titan was after that, and then.
Did watching them back to back bother you? Like, because it's kind of the same experience for the first like 30 episodes.
Not really for me. I don't really remember being like bored or anything, because so the original series, it goes really in depth on like the earlier arcs, and then when Brotherhood does it, like the show creators, they knew that they'd probably get a lot of people who've already seen the original, so like they kind of like zoomed through that.
But like there were parts that were just the same episode in both, I'm pretty sure.
Some of them, yeah. But it's like it's really not a lot. It's like maybe 10 episodes before they like.
I haven't seen the original. But
yeah, basically, yeah. After that was like Attack on Titan, and that was like this crazy hype thing. That's pretty much like when it came out and everyone was stroking.
Let's be real. Attack on Titan has never stopped being crazy hype since the anime came out. It's one of the few things that the anime surpasses the manga for me.
That's true. It's one of the few like anime adaptations that are that do kind of go above and beyond.
I think I remember reading that someone said the Attack on Titan fights in the manga look like ugly scribbles, and I'm like, yeah, they do. When you look at the anime,
they look really good now, though.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
his Isayama's art like improved so much. It's insane.
For sure. I almost want to stop reading. I'm too far in though, but I like almost want to stop reading for the final season.
Yeah, I won't get into it, but like
Me neither.
for people who haven't read it, it's gonna be like weird.
I remember when me and you got really hyped for Attack on Titan, and someone leaked the ending to Attack on Titan, and me and you kind of believed it. Do you remember that leaked ending, like what it was?
I think so, yeah. That like
They find like a guy, and he's just like, "My wife died, so I created Titans."
that shit.
And,
I never
they
believed that.
kill him. They kill him or something, and then like the series is over, and everybody like the Titans disappear, and I'm like, "What is this fucking?"
I never
stupid?
believed. What's happening right now is way better. It's so much fucking better.
I won't spoil,
Can't-
but
can't say.
I totally called Basement like 5 years before it happened.
Yeah.
You can.
I
vouch
think
for this, too.
yeah, you did. You totally did.
I was totally there, and then when it got revealed, I like shit myself.
I was kind of convinced at some point that they would just like that it would just drag on forever and they'd never get to the basement.
Yeah, but then you realize that not all shows are long shonen.
Should I like edit because that's kind of a spoiler.
No,
Whatever. I'll put
you
something.
can just like put a text up that
Yeah,
like
yeah,
says
I'll do
you want
something.
spoiler skip to here.
Yeah, I'll do something. Anyway, so like after Attack on Titan just came the whole flurry of like the common shows. So like Steins Gate, Gurren Lagann, Akame ga Kill, Kill la Kill, No Game No Life, like blah 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 blah. And I basically just became a monster. And
What? Yeah, you did.
I have now watched I think like over 200.
I think you've looked up the statistics. You've watched almost double what I've watched, but I
Yeah.
still beat you on episode count because of what I've watched.
Because of Fairy Tail, not Naruto, but
Fairy Tail's
One
garbage.
Piece. One Piece is like carrying that fucking statistic.
God, I'll get into that story another day. But as you all can see, I'm a big One Piece fan.
Yeah, in case you couldn't tell.
I love One Piece. I've got like 7 figures on my desk, but like I can't show that because my camera sucks. But I'm a big One Piece fan. I also find it funny. Do you notice how, as we get older and the more anime we watch, our opinions on things would change if we were to watch them today, big time.
Opinions on this changing are like. Thank you so much for the segue, by the way. I fucking love talking about this, cause like I literally had like a huge epiphany over this a few months ago.
I remember.
I literally like. I cannot stop thinking about this.
I have a few bias towards shows. There's shows that I like. I'm rewatching Dragon Ball Z right now, and no matter how hard I want to judge it objectively, there's that 5-year-old in me like, yeah, boo boo, Goku gives the attack, and I'm just like, hell yeah. And then there's Yu-Gi-Oh. I just have a bias towards Yu-Gi-Oh. But other than that, for the most part, yeah, if I grade shows, like I watched an episode of Future Diary recently. I saw some clips, and I'm like, oh, I gave this show a 9 when I
Oh
first watched it.
yeah. You kind of cringe at yourself from the past. You're like, oh
Like,
god.
Oh, it's so. Oh, Future Diary is so overly edgy, and like the
Yeah.
last 5 episodes are some of the worst anime episodes in the history
Like,
of anime.
I think my first score for SAO was like an 8.
Give me a break.
I just saw you physically cringe. But yeah, in case you don't know, it's like there's a website called My Anime List where you basically it's like a whole fucking thing where you can make a list of every anime you've ever seen, and you can rank them from 1 to 10. That's a whole other can of worms because people's ranking systems differ like incredibly.
been so mad.
Incredibly. But yeah,
I wish if Mal would do 0.5s, that'd make me so fucking happy.
yeah, that's like 2. I don't know. I think I'm okay with this, but like opinions changing is this whole thing, because like on one end you want to respect how you originally felt about the show. This is why I think like Mal should implement this thing where they have 2 scores, like one original score and one current score. This is
I
for
can see that because I don't go back and change
Yeah.
scores most of the time unless
Yeah.
like I start thinking about a show and thinking, oh my god, this is terrible. And I'll just start lowering the score. Rest in peace, Parasite used to be a 9. I think it's at a 6.5 for me.
ouch, dude.
It's a good show, but
But
the more I
it's-
think about it, the more I don't like it.
It's like the only way you can actually accurately update all your scores is if you're constantly rewatching every show you've ever seen and just like updating it with your new like fucking standards.
It's impossible.
Yeah, so then like at the same time people like there's like people who make videos and stuff on and like Twitch streams or whatever on like judging people's mal lists. And it's like it's not fair because they'll look at your list and they'll be like, hey, this doesn't line up with this, and like this is such a whack score, and you like actually don't really agree with that anymore. Or it's like if I rewatch this show, like for example, like Toradora. Toradora is, I think I love Toradora. It's like on my list right now, it's like maybe my fourth or fifth favorite show. I think if I watched it for the first time today, it would not get a 10 because I've seen a trillion slice of life shows that are like very similar to it. And
See,
I'm like,
I think I definitely feel the same way with Shigatsu. Like I think first of all, watching Shigatsu with you, that's another whole story. Is watching shows with your friends makes it better an experience. But Shigatsu, I can't remember a lot of what happened in the middle. At least I can remember a lot of Toradora episodes, but I actually don't remember a lot of Shigatsu. And I'm like, how did this get a 10 for me?
It's a bunch of piano stuff, man.
Yeah, like because I think the opening really like made me hyped. Every time I'd watch that opening, I'm like, all right, this episode's gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah, one of the best openings for sure.
The second one was also really good, not talked about as much.
Definitely underrated, underhyped opening. But yeah, like also watching shows with other people, like you tend to think the same way because you're like talking about it during like while you're watching.
I don't have a problem with it because usually watching a show with someone makes my enjoyment better for either the show or the experience. Like if I'm watching a god awful show, but I'm watching it with someone I enjoy watching it with, then it's a good time.
It dilutes your like boredom and stuff.
I don't think you and I had bias against each other because we watched all of Naruto together in a very short amount of time, skipping filler. I don't think that me and you played on our bias too much. One, I've already seen the show.
Yeah.
Or I knew the story. I hadn't actually seen Shippuden's episodes like 100 to 500. I'd played games.
I think it's different when one person's seen it though.
Yeah, like it's very different for that. Like I think me and you had the same thing. Actually, we have very different opinions. I'm pretty sure we made our favorite fights list from Shippuden, and like our top 5 is very different. I'm pretty sure.
Just within that show though, but like our feelings about the show overall are like not too different.
No, definitely not.
Minus filler stuff.
We only watched a few filler episodes, the ones that were really funny.
Fuck the filler.
I just don't do most filler. The only show that I really liked filler in was One Piece because there's a filler arc in One Piece that comes right after one of the major arcs, and it's so funny. It's so funny.
Well, there's not that many either, right?
No, there's like 80 episodes of filler in One Piece, which I kind of wish One Piece would get some more filler. Because...
Which, like, if you said to anyone who doesn't know, like, One Piece, like, yeah, there's only 80 episodes of filler, they'd be like, excuse me?
So, because One Piece is caught up to the manga, and so that means, oh my gosh, it got really bad during Dressrosa. This is when I switched to the manga. Episodes were like a half a chapter long.
Like drag the shit out of them.
There's like 6-7 minutes of recap followed by a 2.5 minute opening, and then it's just half a chapter, and then I'm like, so now I read the manga and watch the fights.
Oh, Toei. Yeah, that's what I did too. I finally got around to catching up to One Piece. I did it in 2 weeks.
See, I like my story for One Piece better because it may have taken me like 15 months. No, it took me 2 years with a 9-month break. Jeez. To catch up to One Piece, but I watched the anime.
It took you 2 years. You had a baby in the middle, and then you finally caught up.
Like as soon as I got to the halfway point of One Piece, I put it down for a while. I'm like, okay, I'm done for a while. Because I watched One Piece at a really weird time in my life where I was living between my sister and my dad's house, so I was like watching it, and it was consuming my time. I remember I got really sick with the flu, and I sat down and watched an arc, fucking Eddie's Lobby, which is 50 something episodes. I watched it in one go. It's like 26 hours long.
It's a good arc to have the flu on.
It's a good binge. It's a killer binge. I could talk about One Piece forever. This isn't a One Piece podcast.
We'll have a dedicated One Piece episode. Don't worry.
In case y'all didn't know, One Piece is my #1 story. I can't call it my favorite anime just because I haven't finished the anime, but it's my favorite story. It's like a mix between favorite anime and manga.
I think that's pretty clear by looking at your wall, and also like if you turn your camera around.
And also my next tattoo, probably.
And everything, just about everything, to be honest.
I might get 3DY2 on my arm with the crosses on it.
Oh, that's actually dope.
Yeah, I was gonna get Nami's tattoo, but I changed my mind.
3DY2.
Here, I'm gonna bring out Titty Lady, Robin.
Do you bring it?
An anime convention here in Tennessee, if you can believe that we had one of those. I met Kyle Herbert, who voices a bunch of people.
Maybe I'll go to one someday. When is it?
The Tennessee one?
Yeah, does it happen every year?
It got canceled this year. It got canceled this year, not due to COVID because that didn't happen yet. Because they're remodeling the center and they didn't have enough center big enough at the college that they're doing it. Because actually the local college puts it on. There's one in another city that was in June. They're small. They're very small. They're like $20 entrance fees. If
That's
you want to know
funny.
the anime con that I went to last year that I loved was ABC Con in Memphis. It was $50 a day, or I bought a 3-day pass. I don't remember how much that was. I think it was like 85 for a 3-day pass. It was big, and there was a lot of cool things. I haven't been to like any huge anime cons, like PAX East level or anything. I've been to that, but I think if you ever get to come down here during the summer when there's no COVID, we can go to Memphis. Actually, I'm moving to Memphis next year. We can go there and we can go to ABC. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because it's like, I feel like anime cons. I somehow still haven't been to one, even though like Anime North is like right near me.
Both times I went to one was Impulse, so
I don't know if I would enjoy it if it was like a million people around. I think I might get a better experience if there were fewer people around.
yeah, but like so the first one I went to was. I hope this is not too off track. That's what this podcast is
We're
all about.
so off track. I don't know what our topic was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. The first one, my friend messaged me, and she's like, "Hey, are you gonna come to EtsuCon? I'm selling stuff." And I'm like, "The fuck is an EtsuCon?" And she's like, "It's an anime convention at the college, 5 minutes from your house. It's $20 to get in. There's a bunch of YouTubers and voice actors there and anime shit." And I'm like, "Okay."
That's sexy.
And then I went to visit my friend in Memphis for a week. And they're like, "Hey, ABC Con's this weekend. You got like 85 spare bucks to go for a 3-day pass?" And I'm like, "Sure." I've looked up some videos from ABC Con. I found me in one of them, like just walking. Like you can see me just walking by. It's kind of weird, but cool.
It's always weird seeing yourself in like the background of a video.
I saw a lot of cosplay. I took a lot of pictures. That was the biggest thing. And then I got to see Max Middleman, who voices Ryuji from Persona 5, and watching him realize you can romance the teacher in Persona 5, and he's just like, "What the fuck?" It's a good time. Anime cons are good. I'd love to go to a big one if I had a lot of money. I don't exactly swim in money, so I wouldn't want to. Like, I can't control myself when I see anime products, man.
I still don't know how I'm gonna react when I go. Eventually, I will go.
Control myself.
I don't think I'm gonna do that, but you know.
I'll probably go with you.
I want something. I want to get something.
I want to go with you.
I want to get some nice cool stuff.
Our topic, by the way, was.
I don't know what it was.
Our topic was about judging anime based on our past and future.
Oh, holy shit! That was a while ago.
We were kind of at the end of that, though.
Yeah, kind of. What did I talk about? I think I mentioned Toradora. Did I already say? Yeah. So like,
it wouldn't be a top 5.
Yeah, your taste changed like crazy.
There's a lot of shows that I definitely would change the thing, and I'm gonna say this right now. Oh, this can piss off everybody.
Hot take.
First time I watched Hunter x Hunter, it was a 10, and it's just gone down since for me.
We definitely I'm scared, but we share this opinion.
It's a 9. It's a 9. It's like a high 9, guys.
It's really fucking good.
It's also really got 20 episodes of absolute awful, and I can't overlook it.
Yeah.
The Hunter exam arc is terrible. I'm sorry. The Hunter exam is just so bad. I don't even care that it's not a fighting show at the Hunter exam. It's just the execution of the Hunter exam.
I was bored as shit.
And there was some parts of the Chimera Ant arc that I didn't dig. I did not dig the way the narrator was in the Chimera Ant arc. Good God.
That I will
Manga's really good, though.
I really like the Chimera Ant arc.
I love the Chimera Ant arc, but I just don't like the narrator. But too bad the manga's never going to get finished because the current arc is really fucking good.
Yeah, I think everyone's just giving up on that. Everyone's just assuming
he didn't really finish Yu Yu Hakusho either. That show didn't have a real
ending. Yeah, that just got left off.
Good show.
Well,
that show's also not a 10 anymore.
When you just make a masterpiece and just leave it hanging, that's just his thing.
This is what I wanted to say. I think when you want to rate a series, I actually think you need to give yourself some time to sit on it. Because when I finished Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm like, shit, instant classic, 10 out of 10. And then I'm like, but it was bad. It wasn't bad, but it got worse. You definitely
have to sit on it.
It peaks after the tournament arc. Like, if your show peaks halfway through, can it really be a 10? I mean, sure, if you really want it to be like that, but also, I don't like that giving 10s out like crazy anymore.
I think a 10 is like... A 10 needs to be this really special thing.
10s are different from movies.
It has to be like specific to you. Like, everyone has to have their own criteria for a 10. Like, the way I see it is like 10, in terms of quality, is like basically the same as a 9. But there has to be something about it that's like personally attractive to you.
Now, it's a little easier for movies to get a 10 because they only have 2 hours, so it's really easy to not fuck that up. On the flip side, it's really easy to fuck that up.
Yeah.
Movies like Spirited Away are always going to be a 10 to me. There's nothing that's going to convince me otherwise. Most Ghibli, not most. I watched Palm Poke the other day. That movie was fucking weird.
Some Ghibli movies are whack.
Some
For
were
sure.
not great.
Some of them were definitely whack.
Castle in the Sky though, really good. Like they're just. Sometimes you also don't have to look at a thing critically to give it a 10. Like if you really enjoyed it to the point that you feel like your life is better because you watched it,
Yeah.
then sure,
Give it a 10. Give it a 10. But
if
that
you give
can't
Fairy
be.
Tail a 10 though, you may need to seek therapy.
Oh, Fukano. Oh.
I made it through 70 episodes of Fairy Tail, and if a
My-
show, and let me get this out, Fairy Tail isn't actually all that bad.
My
It's
boy.
actually fine. Fairy Tail's like a 6.5 to a 7, not bad. That's the problem though. It is just consistently not bad.
It's consistently like, oh, okay.
It is 300 something
Eh.
episodes long. I am not gonna keep watching it if it's not gonna start picking up. Like a new arc started that I was told was like one of the best arcs ever, and I watched it and I had this face at the end of it. I'm like, that was all right.
Okay. Just
Then I started the next arc and I'm like, still just okay.
you're literally just like the Saitama picture of okay.
Don't get me started on One Punch Man.
That's your. Oh, sorry, I forgot. That like triggers
No,
you.
I think we need to stay. I think we need to save controversial anime opinions for another video.
That's.
So I got
agree.
a
That's fine. That's fine. We'll have our. We'll save our takes.
No, you can rate shows what you want, but like it's if you're like me and Alan, you're gonna sit back and think about shows and be like, "Ew, do I really want to rate it that?" And some shows get higher ratings for me on my second watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Or even just thinking about the show again.
We're constantly thinking about ratings and how to do them and like what our top whatever thing is. Like we're like literally like Watch Mojo in human form.
Sometimes you watch a show for the second time and you're like, did I like this show the first time? Like Elfen Lied. Did I love that? Why did I love this?
You liked
There was
Elfen
something-
Lied.
There was something about 14-year-old me that loved bloody, edgy anime.
It was. I'm pretty glad I didn't watch it like as one of my first shows ever.
It was one of my first, which might be why I watched it right after Future Diary. What is it with me and edgy, bloody anime? I don't.
One after the other. Did you watch another after that?
Another was awful. I watched another with.
It's on my list. I gotta watch that.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
I watched another with our friend Dita,
I'm gonna
and
fucking
we
do
both
it.
fucking hated it.
I'll let you know. I might like it. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Scoring is fun. I get obsessive with scoring stuff. Like this isn't anime related, but I have a whole friggin' document to every music album I listen to this year, and I score it. And next year, I've already decided that I'm going to do one for every new album and every album that I've listened to for the first time that year. So, including albums I've listened to or albums I missed that are from past years, I'm going to score them all as I listen to them.
Scoring is definitely something that brings us together as people.
Our biggest guilty pleasure has to be watching the worst Watch Mojo videos and being like, shitting on them, even though we obviously know they're not. These are not their opinions. These are just them textbook writing.
Yeah. It's just people Googling shit and then like, all right, what's popular?
Like, what's the top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh fights? Oh, Yugi and Kaiba. Everybody knows that one.
I will give them credit for putting Vinland Saga as the top anime of 2019.
I'll give them credit that, okay, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the narrator for the anime guy, since they hired him, their anime lists have gotten way less terrible.
Yeah, they used to be way worse. I agree.
Because he's an anime-specific guy for them. Like, gosh, I remember I watched some of the old ones, and it's like, you watch the list, and it's like top 10 hype anime, and you're like, all right, Naruto, DBZ, One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, and Pokemon, two others that are mainstream are on here.
You could tell that the person has no idea what they're talking about.
They also got into this weird phase where they would post the number one as their logo, like their thumbnail.
Oh, they totally would, yeah. It would
like
just literally spoil
it'd be
the
like
video
top 10
before you
DBZ
watched
fights, and the thumbnail would just be Goku versus Vegeta, and you'd be like,
huh.
okay.
What's the top DBZ fight? And it like tricks you into thinking it's not it because it's the thumbnail. It's like, oh, it's too obvious. It is. It just is.
Do you remember how my reaction was when Dragon Ball Super got announced in 2015?
I don't. What was it?
Oh my god! Because the only sequel to Dragon Ball Z was Dragon Ball GT, which is a odd, tend to be forgotten series for good reason. Keep in mind that Super was the first DBZ series in over 20 years or something like that. I absolutely lost my mind when they announced it. And then I watched it.
Just takes a sip.
Well, I mean, there's 131 episodes in Dragon Ball Super, and about 45 of them are really good, and the rest are just awful.
They got hype as fuck opening, so I'll give them that.
Second one. Its first opening's not great.
Okay, fine. Just that one. Whatever.
But it makes me think that if I watched the original DBZ for the first time right now, I'd be kind of like. Also, for anyone that ever wants to venture out in Dragon Ball land, watch the original Dragon Ball, then watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. Don't watch the original Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z Kai cuts out all the filler by it's about 130 episodes shorter, and they do better at dubbing because they redubbed it. Same voice actors, just redubbed it.
Listen to this man.
Well, Gohan got a new voice actor. Gohan and Luffy share a voice actor, and I hate it. I find it funny that Luffy and Krillin are the same voice actor in Japanese. Gohan and Luffy in English are the same voice actor.
Isn't she like old now? She's like
60 or 70.
Dang. Holy shit.
She's been doing One Piece since her 40s.
That's insane.
How much money she makes from this show?
Oh my god, probably a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Toei is just a machine. They pump out episodes. They like take the episode and they're like, all right, let's stretch this thing. And then all right, here you go. Here's your episode.
Man, imagine a world where Toei give all their budget to Black Clover, a show that much deserved a better budget.
Oh, man.
I truly believe if Black Clover had a good budget for the first 30 episodes, it would have been really good for the first 30 episodes.
Wait, not Toei. That's Pyro. From Boruto.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if they didn't give
same
all their
deal, same deal.
Boruto.
Yeah. Imagine if Boruto just stopped making fucking chocho fillers and instead
also, have you
gave
seen
them...
how ugly Toei has gotten? Did you see how ugly Toei was with Dragon Ball Super at the start? Like, it was embarrassing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about Wano, because I was gonna say like that looks pretty.
Beautiful.
That looks good. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It looks the
Wano
redesign.
Arc, they've actually put budget back into One Piece.
Yeah, it looked great.
It's great. Toei realized that they can afford to put budget in the highest selling anime of all time.
I generally don't fuck with studios like Pyro and Toei and like.
No, but we still
like
watch
the factory ones, the like mass manufacturing factory.
They pump out shit. They pump out shit all the time.
They don't even care. They don't even care.
No, they do not. They do not care about anything in the single slightest.
It is all about the money, but like, whatever. You get
money,
shows.
money. Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever watched anime and just been like, damn, why don't I live in Japan? Because every fucking show makes me want to live in Japan until I would get there and then be like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's not all that.
Sorry, my cat is having an intense stare down with me for some reason.
You want to lift him up and show?
He just meow.
It's not for the audience. It's for me. I want to see.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your favorite anime?
It's probably Whisker Away.
Hey, good movie actually.
Not gonna lie. I have not heard anyone talking about this or discussing.
Me neither. Like, I swear to God, I thought it was gonna blow up the way the style is. It looked like a Ghibli film to me.
It's literally like this. It's like this Shinkai syndrome of like Your Name copycats, including himself.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, like there's now this formula of anime movies where like you have to have the same kind of like soundtrack and it has to look a certain way.
And it has to start like, I swear, like you get like, okay, so every anime movie now, it's 20 minutes of like introducing the characters and then it's this montage of their lives with like a similar sounding anime song. And I'm
always the montage.
And I'm like,
you're so fucking right about the montage.
And there's a twist like an hour in. And the only time a twist has really blown me away was Your Name's twist, which I will not spoil. Go watch Your Name if you haven't watched Your Name. It may be the best mainstream anime thing of all time.
It did. It's got so mainstream.
I am mad when mainstream stuff lives up to the hype. I know that's dumb, but like sometimes I hate when a show gets so much love. Like people obsess over JoJo, and then I'm like, no. And then I watch JoJo, and I'm like, God damn it.
I think the biggest example of that is Demon Slayer. In recent times.
I read a lot of Demon Slayer. I haven't watched it. I know it's really pretty.
It's so like that's just like Ufotable being Ufotable.
I watched 8 episodes of it as it was airing, but I'm really bad at watching weekly series. I'm so bad at it.
I love watching weekly series. I can't.
Because you know me, I lose interest. Like I'll just lose interest in it like 3 weeks in, and I'll forget about it, and I won't.
Yeah,
back.
we represent the two sides of anime watchers of like binge only or like watch everything as it's airing all the time.
I'm trying to get better with that. I think I might watch some stuff that's airing right now. Like I need to watch episode 2 of ReZero still. I guess episode 3 now as well.
Yeah, 3's out. There's a new waifu everyone's obsessing over.
I
as
need
they
to
do.
watch The God of High School, even if it sounds generic in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Might be good. The opening is annoying.
Yeah, I'm not. The opening sounds like a
The opening sounds like something I
2013
would have used in like a 2013 Minecraft
Minecraft
montage.
montage. Absolutely.
I used to make those. Not like
Literally,
good times. Good times that I
I
used to
can
make.
literally see the Minecraft as I'm listening to the opening.
Like I can picture my highlights and be like, I know exactly what's happening here.
It's
Just prove my point. I'm gonna
it's
go
this
make one.
instinct we have to do that, to like
I'm gonna
associate
grade this
Minecraft
Yeehaw
clips.
beer, by the way. It's disgusting.
All right. Yeehaw Beer, if you're listening, we're sorry. If you want to
I live
sponsor
like right
us,
next to the Yeehaw Brewing Company.
well,
They
there
make
goes our
some good
sponsorship
beers, but
deal.
this is like their dark lager, and it's not very good. I like beer, and I'm very particular about my beer. It's very good. I want Japanese beer. That was the first beer I got when I was 21. Was a Ichiban beer. So I went out for sushi my birthday, and I got Ichiban, and it was gross.
I still think beer is gross.
Most beer is pretty
Most
gross.
beer is
Like,
pretty gross.
there's like 3 or 4 beers that I love, but you can't get Guinness at a gas station, man. I can't just go to a gas station and get it because Guinness is expensive.
It's like, it's never bad enough to make me like not, to make me like want to throw it up or anything, but like it's
Taste
just
Bud
like
Light, and you'll definitely think it's worth throwing up.
you just kind of, it tastes like cardboard to me.
Bud Light is awful.
Bud
That
Light
was what I
definitely
drank when I was
tastes
like-
like, it
Bud Light was
absolutely
what I
tastes like
drank when I was
cardboard.
like 17, 18. That's all I could get.
Yeah, it's just
Dad
it's
beer.
cardboard and soap.
I used to call it dad beer, but it's actually piss water beer. Someone just took the can and pissed into it. It's like, maybe it's that girl from Prison School.
Yum.
God, I refuse to watch Prison School.
Oh, I should watch Prison School.
Okay. Okay. We
I
don't
should watch.
just. You know, I've been getting into manga a lot more these days. With having work, I can't sit down and watch anime, but like whenever I take a break at work, I can read like 3 or 4 chapters before I have to get up and move again.
Manga's
And that's
so
how
much. It's definitely the way to go if you have like a busy-ish life.
It is, and I definitely used to be among the people that's like, I can't read action manga because it doesn't convey it very well. And then I realized that's just the artist doing a poor job at conveying
Absolutely.
action. Because Berserk, I know what's going on in that series. JoJo, okay, I gotta be honest, I don't even know what's going on in JoJo when I watch the anime, so that's not really an issue.
JoJo Part 8 right now, I'm not going to say anything about it except reading it monthly is this thing where you open the chapter up and you're like, all right, what happened? And then
I'm gonna
you-
start JoJo Part 8 soon. I started it actually as soon as I finished Part 7. Part 7, best part. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this down because I cannot do JoJo back to back.
It is so confusing when you're not binging the entire thing at once. It's so fucking confusing, man.
I think I'm one of them, and I'm in the minority. I can't watch JoJo series back to back. I have to take a break between them.
That's
It's like it's a little bit of like the getting attached to the show or characters. Like when I switched from I could switch from part 1 to part 2 kind of easy. Part 3 was a little rough. Part 3 to part 4 was like, oh my goodness.
Well, it
And you,
works because like they're pretty self-contained, right? Like the
They
story
are,
ends.
but it's like it's for some reason like switching from part 4 to part 5 took me a while because
Mhm.
you just get so used to the characters of a show.
Yeah, you do.
And when I finished part 6, I was like, okay, I'm taking a break for a while. And then they didn't announce a part 6 anime, so I said, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and read part 7.
I still haven't. We're still
they-
waiting.
Surely they will.
We're still fucking waiting on Stone Ocean.
COVID probably has something to do with that.
Oh, COVID for sure. And Fire Force. Because
Don't
I
talk
think
about Fire
I think
Force.
that's taking over David production. I don't know if they're doing season 2. I think they are.
They are. The opening's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, MA is doing it. And
Oh.
that has
I
captured.
thought you were asking me if they were doing a Fire Force season 2. I was like, yes.
Oh no, they're doing. I don't know if David is doing it. It could be some other studio.
Switching from JoJo Part 7 to Part 8 is so jarring because JoJo Part 8 is the weirdest thing I think I've ever read within 10 chapters. I'm like, what in the actual fuck?
Dude, it got so weird. Like, you think that you've experienced the weirdest shit ever with JoJo, and then you read Part 8, and you're just like,
I also
I
read
just-
Boku Rano.
It's like, I just think he's making it up on the spot at this point.
I also read Boku Rano in like a day. Killer series. I'm supposed to watch the anime first, but fuck it.
I don't think it matters that much. It
I
fucks
don't have any
you up.
plans to watch the anime anytime soon. I know it's a lot different. I did read the mangas 10 times better, and that's why people say start with the anime.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my reasoning too.
I did read some stuff that happened in the anime, and it just kind of turned me off of it.
It's like a little dated, I think, but like I don't think it should matter too much.
I don't know where. I'm sitting on it before I rate it, because this is a new thing I'm doing where I'm going to sit on series before I rate them. I really enjoyed it. Without spoilers, definitely the ending shat itself a bit. For my taste, I don't like really abrupt endings or endings that make no fucking sense. But for a shorter series, I think if a show like One Piece would have to have a really bad ending for me to like invalidate the series. Because obviously I did not read One Piece to know what happens at the end.
I think when people say the ending is like super important, like the most important thing, it depends on what show you're talking
Does not
about.
apply to One Piece for sure, because
It
that is
doesn't.
almost 1,000 chapter series.
Yeah. When it's like
If you read over 1,000
super...
chapters and you get to the ending and you're like, this series sucks. Like, why the
Yeah,
hell
you
did
can't.
you read over 1,000 chapters?
I don't think you can do that and like have people take you seriously.
I think it would genuinely depress me if the ending to One Piece was bad, though, because I've invested so much time into this.
Yeah.
You invested a few weeks in the
that
manga. I invested hours, days into this damn anime.
It would break my heart, but it would break your entire being if they got there and it was just like a guy who's like, hey, and they give them a box and it says it's a piece of paper with One Piece written on it, and they're like, okay, and then it's over.
You just see me like tear down all my posters and light my house on fire. Like, fuck this, fuck you, Oda.
Fuck this. You fucking like burn your house down. I can't believe I trusted you.
You cheated on me.
You broke the rules.
My mom.
You broke the rules. You broke the
Honestly,
rules.
I think if Oda made a bad ending to One Piece, it'd be the equivalent of fucking my mom.
Oh my god, it totally would. For you.
I
think like for some things like the ending matters when it's like it matters more when it's like a slow burn show, when you have something that's like very slowly leading up to something. There's not that much substance in the build up.
That applies to anything. Could you imagine if like you were watching Breaking Bad and the show was like, okay, I'm gonna cook meth, and then the series finale is just him finishing his batch of meth, being like,
and he's like, I'm done.
Yes.
I've finished. Here it is. 5 seasons later.
Even fucking any anime, like Attack on Titan, it's just like...
Yeah, if Attack on Titan shat itself right now, I'd be like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, okay, right. Attack on Titan, I'd be pretty mad.
If it just took big...
A warning to people, this is not spoilers. A warning, when you go into season 4, do not expect what you've seen the last 3 seasons.
Oh no, please
it's
drop...
a different show. It's a different series.
Everything.
There was a point in time, that's the thing, where you read Attack on Titan monthly, it's a little hard. There was a point in time where I didn't like Attack on Titan, and it wasn't until I reread from where season 3 ended to now that I really liked it. Because reading it monthly, I was just kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. It was hard. We made it through, but like, it's getting close to the end.
I've been reading Attack on Titan since the end of chapter 1. I think it's the longest running manga I'm reading.
Longest reading manga. Yeah.
Like, I've read a lot of manga, but this one's the one I've been reading the longest monthly.
I was also gonna bring up Breaking Bad, but it's not an anime, so I was like, oh my god. But
it was a good example.
Yeah, that was the best example I could think of.
Now that I think of it, I can't think of a lot of slow burn anime series except for Monster, which I guess, could you imagine watching Monster and the entire series is just him like with the serial killer, and then the series ends and he's like, well, I didn't find him, I'm going to bed now.
Let me see. I don't know.
Anime is not very slow burn. I don't think.
Yeah, there's not too many.
Maybe I'm wrong, but like that's not like much of a thing in Japan. I feel like that's not a thing that they enjoy. It's slow burn series.
But there's definitely some shows where like the shitty end. Darling in the Franxx. Darling in the Franxx is totally an example of like the show fucking shat itself at the end, and even though it was like pretty good at the beginning. Like it had some promise at the beginning, and it peaked at a certain point. Like you can't let the ending go. That's one example.
Future Diary. Well, I mean, Future Diary definitely wasn't amazing. It was pretty good at the time, at the start. Those last 5 episodes, man.
Yeah, that's another thing. Bokurona's
and
kind of one.
If you need an anime only ending to wrap up Future Diary, which still didn't make sense, it was just slightly better. Then fuck, dude. I can't even treat that ending as canon. That was another thing. I had a problem with shows that didn't have happy endings when I first started anime.
I think most shows do. So it kind of makes sense that you like would grow to have a problem with non-happy endings.
So seeing my first non-happy ending really fucked with me.
Yeah. My stomach just growled extremely loudly. I hope that didn't pick it up.
Are you hungry?
I'm fucking starving, man.
Dude,
it's 12:30. I haven't eaten in like 6 hours.
I'm hungry too, but I'm on a diet, so I'm trying not to eat. But I can eat breakfast soon since I'm on a night shift. I guess it'd be lunch for me.
I'm fucking starving. I cannot lie. I am fucking starving. But yeah, like, here's another thing I was gonna bring up is Danganronpa. Technically an anime, but like that's a thing where like I'm not a really big fan of any of the game's endings or the show's endings.
I think I'm with you.
I'm not really a fan
of
anything that series has ever done in terms of endings. I don't really like any of them, but I really like the series overall, excluding the anime, because like it's not about that. I never really gave a shit how it ended.
Definitely, the third game's ending is definitely something.
Yeah, we'll debate about that forever.
That one definitely made me. I go back and forth on that all the time. Like some weeks I'm like, that's the best fucking ending I've ever seen, and then another week I'm like, God damn it, that ending sucked. Like,
I was kind of cheesed. I think I gave you my live reaction, right? Like,
I think I can accept, like, okay, if I'm in peace with myself and I'm like, okay, there isn't gonna be a fourth Danganronpa, I'm like, yeah, that's the best ending ever. But then there's days where I'm like, damn, I want a fourth Danganronpa. Fuck that ending, it sucked dick.
But the ending, like, I don't think this is really spoiling it, but like, the ending makes you feel bad about wanting a fourth Danganronpa. It makes you feel like an idiot. It's like, man, I really want a fourth Danganronpa. Aw, but like I can't.
That guy left the company, and he's making another game that's about a death game for kids.
Wow,
shocker. It's a platformer.
I don't know, man.
It's called like Death March Parade or something like that. Death March Club.
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. I might try it just to see.
I don't like platformers.
Just to see.
Remember, I had to play fucking Zero Escape to get my Danganronpa fix, and it just didn't hit it. It just did not hit it. Like, it kind of did, and then it just didn't.
Oh, yeah, I got you play 999, right?
Yeah, decent game. Ends out of nowhere. At least the ending I got was just like, oh, the game's over. I'm like, what?
I think that's another game where, like, I don't think... It's another example of, like, a thing where I don't highly value the ending as much as a lot of people would.
Yeah, I just didn't want the game to end where it did, because I was, like, in the middle of it still, and I'm like, okay, I've probably got about 4 more hours, and the game's over, and I'm like, wait.
You just fuck up, and they don't tell you how, and you just...
Yeah, that's the thing. You can fuck up and end the game, like, fucking early.
Yeah, like, I tried like 3 or 4 times, and I would get the same ending every time, and eventually I was just like, alright, fuck this. Like, I'll just watch it on YouTube. I'll literally just watch the other endings.
Yeah, and then I wish I didn't do that because I really didn't like the endings. Like, I thought it was stupid, and I was like, okay, I guess the ending I got was the best one.
I got fucking murdered, like, very early.
I did too. We got the same ending, and I was like, that's the best one.
Yeah. I think that's
I hated the endings.
It's the easiest one to get.
Yeah, because you try to be a decent person.
Well, fuck you for being that. Fuck you for being nice.
Yeah, I don't know, but anime. Growing up with it, my sister doesn't like anime. Big shocker. It's not really her cup of tea.
Has she seen
what was the first anime you watched in Japanese? Yeah, she watched Pokemon and stuff with me as a kid.
The first anime I watched in Japanese was probably Pokemon. Yeah.
First anime I watched Japanese was either Attack on Titan or Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I think I watched the last season of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds in Japanese, because when I was watching that as a kid, they didn't have the final season dubbed, so I watched it.
A lot of people are I have a lot of people like I have this friend who I'm trying my absolute hardest to get her an anime, but she will not watch anything with subtitles. She won't.
Our friend Mr. Chalkin would not watch anything with subtitles because he had dyslexia, and I'm like, dude,
that's
no, hear me out. He finally watched one with subtitles, and he's like, oh, this is easy. This is fine.
Oh. I was gonna defend the shit out of him.
You zone out the Japanese and you can read the subtitles perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Watch like 3 episodes, and I got my girlfriend to watch a show in Japanese because she does not like subtitles. We watched Erased, and she was able to watch it in sub. she's not an anime fan. She likes Ghibli films. Her dad loves Ghibli films. But she's only seen Erased, Death Note, and Ghibli films and Your Name and Weathering with You. I'm trying so hard to get her to watch something else. We were going to watch Assassination Classroom, but then she's like, I'd rather watch Breaking Bad. And I'm like, well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, you can't.
So we'll get there.
There's
and she's watched a few episodes of Dragon Ball Z because I throw it on when I'm working out. And
One Piece.
She reads One Piece. I did get her to do that. I bought her these
somehow.
Well, she felt obligated to because I came home one day and just handed her the fucking first 4 volumes of One Piece, and I'm like, get to reading, because she liked what she watched with me.
And she did.
Yeah, and then she's read a couple more chapters after that. She doesn't like reading it online, which I don't know if I can agree with people that don't like to read manga online. I think it's an excuse so they don't have to do it, but that's just me.
I think I kind of get it. It's like I
prefer physical books too, but
yeah, I do prefer physical books, even though.
But like, it's so easy to just read it online. If I could afford the manga, I would buy manga.
I think manga's different. I think it's just so much easier to read it on a device.
Yeah, I don't have the space to put manga if I bought any.
Well, like buying manga is just, I feel like it's more of a collection thing.
I mean, I like to pay for subscription services like Viz or something. I do like to pay for my media, but that's about it. I mean, at least I'm glad I'm able to pay for some type of way to consume anime or manga.
But yeah, I think like it's really fucking hard to get to find recommendations for people who are like totally new, like they've never experienced it.
Yeah, it's really hard to get started with manga too.
There's like there's all these shows or movies that I think are like fucking amazing recommendations for like first time watchers, except for like one fucking thing that's just like weird as fuck that you've like desensitized yourself to. That's like the one thing keeping you from recommending it.
I think the first time I realized that I'm so desensitized to weird stuff as anime was when I recommended Konosuba to somebody, forgetting how fucking weird that show can get. And they used to watch the episodes and they sent me a message like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh right, Konosuba's weird, isn't it?
It's like it's like kind of ecchi in a way.
Well,
like it's got some ecchi stuff.
Like one of the first episodes Liz watched with me was the introduction of Big Mom in One Piece. If that was the first episode you saw of an anime, you'd be like, what the fuck? Because it's like that weird ass Disney song.
That definitely doesn't help the whole like anime is cartoons like and for kids kind of thing. If that's what you see at first. Yeah,
it's also I used to have a tactic for getting people into manga, but it doesn't work anymore. When they'd watch Attack on Titan season 1 and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I need another one. I'm like, well, season 2 isn't ever happening, so start reading. When they would do it, season 2 happened. Anymore. I still can't believe season 2 happened 4 years later, and there was already enough manga chapters done when season 1 ended that they did not need to wait.
Yeah, that's good. That's really great.
But season 2 covered all the chapters that were already out when season 1 ended.
Yeah.
I'm just glad season 3 and 4 did not have a 4-year gap between.
Oh yeah, because between 1 and 2, like all the hype died. You could kind of tell, like when 2 started, nobody gave a shit.
And then when the long-term fans got to season 3 part 2, they're like, okay, everybody, bring your hype back up, and it kind of brought everyone back into the series. Like, everybody go through season 2 and 3 right now, right the fuck right now.
But I don't think it'll ever hit that initial point. Like, you remember that shit. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah. Season 3 part 2 though, I remember when I read all that monthly, it did not have this kind of effect on me. And then I watched season 3 part 2 and I'm like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's one thing. I'm more able to forget things in manga than I am anime. I will forget details in manga because my eyes, I read fast.
Yeah,
my eyes will start skimming. Sometimes I'll forget to look at the damn artwork if I read fast enough. If I'm binging it, I'll start to forget what's going on the screen, and I'll just start reading it like a fucking not picture book.
So it's like a blur.
Yeah, and then sometimes I go back, and I'm like, wait, what did I just miss?
So you're literally not reading. It's like when you're reading a book and you read like a page, you flip to the next page, you're like, wait, I didn't actually read that page. And you go back. Yeah.
Gosh, I knew this girl. She read manga and books in like the 4th grade. She was the first, like I used to be the top reader of my school. I got awards because I got the most points.
Wow.
She came in. I got field trips for this shit. She came in and like quadrupled my score because I'd end this year with like 150 points. she'd fucking read, like she'd skim her eyes up and down and get through a page in like 30 seconds, and she would tell me that she'd read like 10 pages at a time, and then the information would start to process to her after that.
That's
so she was always. I was like, how the hell? And I'm pretty sure she skipped high school or something like that. I know she skipped like 3 grades.
Dude, that's some people. Holy shit.
She said that she has like a photographic memory, but it takes her a minute. Like, so she'll get to the end of a chapter, and then when she has to go to class, then she starts processing everything that happened in a chapter. And I'm like, what the hell?
Aren't photographic memories like not a real thing?
Not really, but like, it's pretty good. And she read a lot of manga. I remember she read Chobits. I didn't know what Chobits was.
Oh, hell yeah.
Still don't really know what Chobits is. I had a friend that read Chobits, and she said there was something about a dick sucking scene, and I have a feeling that's not a thing.
I immediately thought to that picture I have.
Is that from Chobits?
No, it's not from Chobits.
Oh, okay.
It better not be from Chobits. Holy shit. But yeah, there's a picture. I'm not gonna go into it.
I do know what picture you're talking about.
There's a picture. Some people might know the picture.
I think anime has definitely shaped who I am as a person.
Anime has definitely shaped who in a. I'm not gonna say positive or negative.
I'm gonna say in a positive way. It was a big escape for me in school.
That's true. Yeah.
And family life. I mean, One Piece definitely changed my life. Not to sound corny, but it definitely changed me.
Well, that's what 10 out of 10 are supposed to be, right? It's like, I would not be the same person if I hadn't. That's why you can't have 50 10 out of 10 shows. I don't think 50 shows changed who you are as a person.
Unless your anime list is like 10 million shows.
Yeah, unless you've seen literally every show.
What is there, like 88,000 anime or something like that?
What
or like 36,000? I remember the Anime Man made a video of him reading every anime listed on Mal.
Holy shit.
Like, it took him like 11 hours.
That's like some Mr. Beast shit.
Yeah, that's how he got. I can't believe Mr. Beast got famous reading and counting, and now he does like this most bizarre shit.
I don't think I'm ever. That's a cool thing. I'm never gonna run out of shit to watch. Never. Because if I ever hit a point where I think I've seen everything, there's always Gintama. There's always Gintama.
Gintama's that one long shonen I haven't gotten to yet, and I don't know if I ever will. I know it's good. I know it's funny. No one needs to convince me to watch it. I know. I fucking know.
If you scroll down the top anime of all time on Mal, it's like half the list of like the top 50. It's just Gintama, and they have the same title. I don't know what the difference is between this Gintama and this Gintama, like, but it's there. And I think I will get to it eventually, just not right now.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's much else we need to talk about, is there?
I don't know. We don't have a topic list.
We don't do a topic list, but I feel like we've covered everything we'd want for an introduction episode. Otherwise, we're going to start another hour-long topic.
I guess. How long have we been going for?
A little bit over an hour, right?
Okay. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, we can keep going. I just think this is a good time to end it. Some things I want to say.
I totally just opened a window. And that, showed up on my.
All right, we'll cut that out.
Yeah,
let me know when we're back.
We're back.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's some things. I'm gonna link my anime list down below. I'm sure Alan will do the same.
Mm-hmm.
This is going up on one of our channels for now. If this takes off, it'll go up on a different channel. We haven't figured out where it's gonna go, so subscribe to both of our channels. It could end up on either place. Submit your anime lists if you want. I'm more than happy to look at them and let you know if you're an idiot or not.
We can do a thing where we like roast people's lists or something.
Sure. If you have any questions you want to ask anime related specifically or about us, I guess you can
topic
do that
suggestions, basically anything
you want us to talk about. We don't have a schedule. We're hoping weekly, but don't hold that to us.
Please don't.
Definitely don't.
I already know it's not gonna go as intended.
I mean, if we record episodes in advance, it wouldn't be too bad. But
yeah,
it'll depend on both schedules. Like, I'm pretty hard to schedule in terms of getting home, and he's hard to schedule in terms of having time to edit shit together. Mm-hmm. So it may just be us both editing. Who knows? Anyway.
Yeah.
And I do want to clarify something. Anyone that's a fan of me may know that I had another podcast, and I'm not really sure where that podcast is going right now. Don't be mad at me. I'm not saying it's gone or not, but this is an anime-specific podcast, and it's a lot easier with 2 people than 4.
Yeah, it's super easy to schedule.
Yeah, because we're already talking every night anyway. But yeah, this has been Untitled Anime Podcast, Episode 1. And if you have anything else you want to add, please do.
Not much. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
That was fucking.
Bye.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.